Paramahamsa Nityananda, a compelling spiritual force of our millennium, founder of an international socio-spiritual movement, pioneer of a modern Vedic renaissance. Born in the sacred town of Tiruvannamalai, a yogi by birth, fearless spiritual explorer, beacon of divine power, Paramahamsa Nityananda is today an inspiration for millions on the path. Adept in ancient mystical yogic sciences, researcher of the science of spirituality, guru for enlightenment. Every year, Paramahamsa Nityananda shares with over 1 crore people worldwide the treasures of his wisdom, the joy of his laughter, and the incomparable power of his initiation. Now, Paramahamsa Nityananda speaks on living enlightenment, solutions for blissful living. Join us for an unforgettable spiritual experience.
There is a natural universal law. Everything is flowing in that. Everything is flowing with that. Swadharamam apichavikshya navikampitum arhasi dharmyati Yuddha Shreyonyat Kshatriyasya na vidyate. It's Bhagavan's words. You can't, you should not dare to manipulate or misinterpret this word. Bhagavan is straight away saying, for your Swadharma. See, the reason with which I created you, the place where you are supposed to fit, for that, this is the right action, do it. The Creator authoritatively addresses the problem. Please understand. Krishna is not a person who is conditioned by the concepts of community, caste, creed, or religion, or other social morality and social ideas. No. He has done everything you describe as immoral, illegal in those days or nowadays. Anything you describe as illegal or immoral, Krishna has done it. He has not left anything. He has done the greatest things of the world, and same way he has done what you call as cheapest. Here is the authority who has the right to say about Swadharma. Please understand. Whatever is said and done, a man who has not seen both sides misses little juice, little spice. I cannot say don't eat non-veg because I do not know if I was habituated, brought up with non-veg, how to quit. I do not know all the struggles and suffering you go through. When I see a photograph of non-veg cooked, I do not have any experience in my tongue. My tongue is dead. It is not inviting. It is not tempting me. So what right do I have to tell you, give up non-veg? I can say, as a medical advice, I can give this word. But I don't have a moral authority because I do not know how to get out of that saliva comes in your mouth when you see the non-veg photograph. When the smell of cooking the non-veg happens to you. I do not know. I can at the most tell you to get out of gongura chutney. Because only that I have tasted. When I see that, the saliva which comes in my mouth, I have controlled, I know how to control. So this I have right. But many things I myself have not tasted. So I have no right to talk about Swadharma. Please understand, a man who has missed many things in his life naturally will be less spicy. Here is Bhagavan who has played with the life like a child. He is not the guy who enters into the lake and just takes bath and washes his body and applies the soap and takes bath and comes out. He is a guy who splashes the whole water, wills in the water, jumps, makes a big ruckus. I can tell you very clearly how Vrindavan would have been. Every day, the extreme joy and happiness and extreme insecurity. You do not know what he will do next day. Two types of insecurity. One, insecurity, what will happen to you, where will you be? Will you be near him or away from him? What will happen to your relationship with him? Second, you are so much involved with him. When you have so much love, you have a deep insecurity. Will this fellow land himself in some problem? I tell you, when you have too much of love, if you are involved too much with anybody, you will have a deep insecurity about that person. You will have fear. He is so innocent, we don't know, will he land himself into some problem? Don't worry. Even though gopis and gopikas had so much of fear, will Krishna land himself in any trouble? No. Only he landed all others into trouble. But you need to wait till the end of the Bhagavata story. During Bhagavata story, it always looks like Krishna is having trouble. But by the end of the chapter, always Krishna wins. That is why he is Krishna. I will answer your questions for next few moments. Let's start with your questions. Today, I have around thousands of questions because all of you have sent your report. Why you are a mortal? I will take up all your reason as questions and I am reducing all those reasons. I am merging all those reasons. I am clubbing all the cases. making it almost like a class action lawsuit, reducing it to a few points and break one by one. See, you all saying you are a mortal is literally class action lawsuit on all incarnations happening on the planet Earth. Because we go on claiming we are immortal and you are also immortal. But you go on claiming you are also mortal and we are also mortal. So it is a class action lawsuit. I'll break one by one, point by point. Finally, leave the judgment to you. Because I already given judgment for me. Please understand, in this court, each one have to give judgment for themselves. Nobody can judge others. If you are told by somebody is sitting somewhere who will judge you, forget about it. Nobody has the right to judge others. If somebody is going to judge you, then who is going to judge that guy? Forget about it. Nobody is going to judge you. Here, only the arguments can be presented. It is you who is supposed to give judgment for yourself. Incarnation is only a liar. Maybe Attorney General, that's all. Government's representative, the representative of the cosmos, that's all. But he is not a judge. Judge is here accused himself. Accused is a judge. That is the beauty of this court. Accused himself argues for himself. Attorney General gives his side argument, but the final judgment is given by every individual for himself. That is the beauty of this huge universal court. That is why all of us are able to play this huge universal game. If somebody is going to judge you, and if that fellow gets angry for some reason, some mood, and he may say, come on, wind up the whole thing. What will happen? You are not sub-beings. Please understand, you are not substandard beings. You are not living substandard life. This is the essence of Advaita. You are not second to anybody. If there is a God, that is you. Otherwise, there is nobody else. That's it, leave it. It is you who is supposed to be giving judgment now. I am presenting my arguments. In you, there are two different components. I can say three components. One is you the accused, second you the liar, third you the judge. Now I am addressing you the judge. O Lord, here are my arguments. You the judge is immortal. You the accused will be mortal the moment you the judge gives the judgment that you the accused is mortal by comparing the arguments of you the liar and me and my arguments. The first arguments by you the liar, I still get angry, upset, threatened, sad, and experience all other unhappy reactions. I am unable to control either my life or my death. Wow. Long submission. Let's start analyzing one by one. Let me do postmortem of these words. I still get angry, upset, threatened, sad, and experience all other unhappy reactions. I wanted to ask you, the moment you say you experience unhappy reactions, you already agree. You have the moments in your life where these reactions are not there. Am I right? There are moments in your life when you are not angry, when you are not upset, when you are not threatened, when you are not sad, when you are not experiencing unhappy reactions. Am I right? So why don't you start believing you are immortal only in those moments? Please understand. I am not saying you are immortal always. I am saying you may be partially immortal, part-time immortal. Why don't you allow immortality part-time with you? Whenever you are not angry, you are not sad, you are not upset, you are not threatened, those few moments, it may be only 3 minutes in your day, half an hour in your month, 1 day in your year, that is okay. Why don't you be immortal for those few minutes? I tell you, it is not few minutes, it is not few hours, it is not few days. Because you never attended that part of you, it looks like too small. Anything you don't attend much, you don't empower much, looks almost deprived in your life. You denied the existence of your immortality in your life. I tell you, all of you are in denial mode as far as immortality is concerned.
Welcome to Inner Awakening, the most powerful personal transformation retreat you could ever experience. In just 21 days, thousands are already experiencing the shortest route to constantly high energy levels, visible anti-aging, healing of chronic diseases, fulfilling relationships, and higher states of consciousness. What is the secret behind this transformation?
Kundalini means the inner potential energy. Once it is awakened, opens the different doors for the conscious experience in you. I can say which is a master key for all extraordinary spiritual experiences.
This extraordinary program is conducted personally by Paramahamsa Nityananda in the vibrant atmosphere of Nityananda Dhyanapitham Ashram. Open yourself to the benefits of Nitya Yoga and practical meditation. Experience physical and mental healing. Discover simple ways to handle life with success. Above all, enjoy individual darshan and blessings from Paramahamsa Nityananda every day. Take 21 days for yourself and carry home the transformation of a lifetime.